I hope everyone had a wonderful, wonderful week. This week in Chutz La'aretz is Parshas Chukat, my Bar Mitzvah Parsha. In Eretz Yisrael, we are reading Parshas Balak, and again, I wanted to stick in the Chutz La'aretz mode and discuss for a moment or two the notion of Tum and Tahara. We open up with Zo Sukas HaTorah, person's Tamei Meis, and how he relieves himself of his Tumas Meis. And there's a very, very famous Rambam, which is worth hovering over. The Rambam is found at the end of Hilchos Mikvos, a very famous Rambam, where the Rambam writes as follows: Davar Barer V'Golui Shatumos V'Ataros Gzeros HaKosefein Bein Midvarim Shedato Shlod Machrato V'Areihein Bechlal HaChutim V'Chukim V'Chein Atvila Min Atumos Michlal HaChukim is that the whole process, the halachos of Tum and Tahara, and the way we are metaher ourselves, and the fact that a mikveh works, this is all part of the world of chukim. After all, she'ein hatuma tit otsoa shetavar b'mayim ela gzeras hakosuv. Tum is not a physical kind of dirt; it's a gzeras hakosuv. V'adavar tolui bekavanas alev. And the tahara process depends on a proper kavana. Uleficha gamru kavana kachamim. And therefore Chazal taught us, Taval v'lo huksuk. If a person just dips in a kosher mikveh without a proper intention to be matar himself, ki'ilu lo taval. It's as if he has not engaged in tvila. It is, you need a process that you're engaged in affirmatively of tahara. It is not just dip without consciousness of what you're doing. But there is a remez to this idea. Kashem shemechaven libo letaher keven shetav tahor. Afal pishon ischadish begufo davar kach. So when you go to the mikveh, nothing's really changing. You're going into a mikveh, and the key is your kavana. The fact that you have kavana to be metaher, that's what's bringing out your tahara. In other words, it's the machshavos, videos. So too, when it comes to any kind of tshuva process, any kind of cleansing process, says the Rambam, it's a function of the deos. And kevan shehiskim belibo, lifrosh me'osan ha'etzos vehevi nafsho b'mei hadas hatar. And therefore, when a person who wants to cleanse himself not of external impurities, Tumas Haguf, but Tumas Hanefesh, so he does so by immersing himself in Mei Hadas, in the waters of Das. And that's the famous memra of Rabbi Akiva, Ashrechem Yisrael Lifnei Miatem Metarim, Mi Metar Eschem. When a person does tshuva, Mahamikva Metaris Atmeim, Af HaKadosh Baruch Hu Metaris Yisrael, but it's all a function of his mindset. Does he have a mindset of removing the tumah, whether tumas haguf when he goes into a mikvah, or an internal tumah when he engages in a process of tshuva? So the Rambam sets up an analogy between tumas haguf and tumas hanefesh. Just like internal tumah requires an intellectual tshuva process, a metaphorical dipping in the mehadas, so too the physical tshuva process also requires an element of das. And the Rambam in the Perush Mishnah says something amazing, which again is very, very inspiring. He says, who is on a higher level? When we're talking about Tumas Haguf now, a person who is never ever been metame, or he became tamei, and now he goes to the mikvah, he has the sprinkling of the Kohen Gadol, and now emerges as a tahor. Hine ein hevdel ben isha lo nitzma me'olam b'meis uven isha sher nitzma kol yamav ve'achar katoval v'hiza olav gimel v'zayin ela shezeh asher huza olav yoter gadol. He says there's no comparison between a person who never became tamei l'meis and a person who's tamei l'meis his entire life and then goes through the tahara process. He says that the one who had the sprinkling of the Efer Para by the Kohen is Yoser Gadol HaMadrega B'Tara Lefisha Pasuk Kvar Shafat Alav Shutar. He slipped, he fell, nevertheless, he emerges Tahor. The Torah testifies he's a Tahor. That's not true when a person never became Tamei. The Torah never testifies he's a Tahor. When a person became Tamei and emerges, the Torah is testifying he's a Tahor. That's a higher level. And if that's true when it comes to physical tumah, that's what is going to be true when it comes to the spiritual tumah, the tumas haguf as well, the tumas hanefesh as well. And this is what the Rambam writes in a very famous Rambam in Hilchos Tshuva, Perek Zayin Halacha Daled, quoting Gemara in Brachos Daf Lamed Daled Amud Beis, and that is that b'makom shebalei tshuva omdim, tzadikim k'murim einam omdim, that the Baal Tshuva, who underwent that process and now emerges, is on a higher level than the tzaddik gamor who never engaged in that tahara process. There is some tremendous value in the journey. Where were you and where are you now? Step-by-step growth. There's a beautiful comment by the Shem Mishmuah, again based on Diukim in the Rambam, but the Rambam is meduyak, that when does a person become tahor? He goes into the mikvah, he becomes tahor, not while he's in the mikvah. In fact, if he touches, let's say, metal inside the mikvah, the metal kli becomes tameh. The tumah leaves him when he's olem in a mikvah, when he emerges from the mikvah. The Shem Shmuel writes that the reason for this, when he emerges from the mikvah, only then does he become tahor, is because the process of mikvah is in a certain sense a rebirth. He can't live inside underwater. A human being can't live. He emerges anew. He emerges reborn. I actually spoke to a Giores who she expressed that when she left the mikvah, a very good swimmer, but she felt her breath taken away, and as she emerged in the mikvah, she felt like this push of breath inside of her, like Vayipach ba'apav nishmas chaim. Hashem was putting into her a new neshama, is a goy she nizgar kekatan shenola dami, a rebirth. And every Baal Tshuva, and perhaps every Tameh who now reemerges, is reborn. And in a very, very real sense, says the Rambam, is that a person who never became Tameh versus a person who was Tameh L'Meis and went through that process, the journey, where I was and where I am, puts me on a higher level. Something to think about. Very inspiring message. Sometimes we fall, but from those yeridos, we have even higher aliyos. But makom shabalei tshuva omdim, afilu tzadikim gemurim einam omdim.